I'm Sierra Donovan. The smoke from the backyard grill stung my eyes that afternoon in Orlando. It was the kind of heat that makes the air shimmer. Dad raised his beer and announced $100,000 for Chase to study luxury management in Monaco. Everyone cheered. I asked quietly, "What about my editing course?" Mom didn't even look up. "Sierra, you're not worth a dime." The words hit harder than the sun. I tossed the napkin on the table, grabbed my phone, and booked an Uber to Miami International. No goodbye, no tears, just the door slamming behind me. 5 years later, Chase was scrolling on his phone by the same pool when he spotted my name on the Forbes 300 Richest Under 30. He called Dad, his voice cracking. "Dad, how does she have all that?" If you've ever been told you're worthless by the people who should lift you up, hit like and subscribe right now. This story is about to get real, and you won't want to miss what happens next. I remember that Christmas when I was in 3rd grade, the one where the differences became impossible to ignore. Chase, my little brother, had his big moment the year before, and the house in Orlando turned into a full-blown holiday spectacle despite the warm Florida air. Dad dragged in a 12-foot artificial tree from storage, its branches loaded with white LEDs that pulsed to the carols pumping through the sound system. Guests showed up in tacky sweaters, clutching cups of spiked eggnog, as Mom directed the gift reveal like a pro. Chase plopped down on the thick carpet, grinning as Dad slid over a shiny, gold-wrapped box. He tore it open to reveal a top-of-the-line DJI drone with a 4K camera and smart sensors. "This will teach you to aim high in business, kid," Dad said, messing up Chase's hair. The crowd whooped. Relatives whipped out phones, filming for social media with tags like, "Next big entrepreneur." Mom fussed over the controls. "He's got the spark," she bragged to anyone listening. Chase launched it inside, buzzing close to the ceiling fan, and everyone laughed it off. My Christmas came the following year. Same massive tree, same twinkling lights, but the vibe was different. Dad handed me a plain envelope. "Something useful this round, Sierra." It held a Miami Metro card loaded with rides. "Time to handle the city solo. Toughens you up," Mom agreed. Self-reliance beats fancy toys. No drone, no excitement. Just the card and a talk on responsibility that dragged into the night. I pocketed it and stepped onto the patio, while the focus shifted back to Chase rehearsing his gratitude lines. The pool glowed under the patio bulbs, and I dangled my legs in the water, feeling the cool bite. That card opened doors to the downtown public library, a long ride I took alone. I camped in the tech corner, figuring out editing programs on the shared desktops. Cutting footage, layering effects, matching sound, sessions stretched long. In high school, I submitted a mini-documentary on Miami street life to the district media fair. Shot on a borrowed phone, polished during lunch breaks, it won top prize. I printed the award slip at the library and hurried home to Dad, who was in the driveway washing the car. "Check this out, I placed first," he peeked, drying his hands. "Solid effort, but will it pay? Fun's great, but winners bring in cash." He resumed scrubbing. Mom heard about it while coaching Chase on his Model UN presentation in the dining room. "Video stuff adorable, Sierra, but channel that into visible achievements like your brother's diplomacy skills." She never watched the entry. Chase ran through his speech, getting nods for every inflection. I stashed the slip in my room beside the Metro card that enabled it all. The holidays followed suit. Chase scored upgrades, high-end tablets, networking events, constant spotlight. Mine remained basic transit tips, money management lectures, emphasis on measurable outcomes. I stuck with the rides, honing skills quietly. The computers improved, my techniques sharpened. A class promo clip I made spread among students, but it earned shrugs. "Better for college apps," Dad noted. I tracked growth in private stats, quicker exports, smoother transitions, feedback on test posts. No family feeds lit up for me. Chase's plaques crowded the shelf. My projects lived on external drives. The original Metro card wore out, so I reloaded it from babysitting gigs. Self-sufficiency wasn't optional, it was expected. Years rolled on like that. The Uber sped away from the smoke and cheers, leaving the family gathering behind in a blur of palm trees and highway lights. Touching down in Miami felt like stepping into a different world, the humid air wrapping around me like a promise of reinvention. I wheeled my single suitcase through the bustling terminal, heart pounding from the leap I'd just taken. That's when I spotted her, Aunt Evelyn, standing by the arrivals gate with a handmade sign that read, "Welcome home, Sierra." She enveloped me in a hug that smelled of coconut sunscreen and fresh laundry, her voice warm against my ear. "You've made the bravest choice, kiddo. Let's get you settled." Her condo overlooked the turquoise waves of South Beach, a cozy two-bedroom filled with vibrant art prints and shelves of old film cameras. She cleared out the guest room that very night, fluffing pillows and stocking the mini fridge with tropical fruits. "Stay as long as you need," she said, handing me a spare key on a seashell chain. "This is your safe harbor now." As we sat on the balcony watching the sunset paint the sky in oranges and pinks, she listened without interrupting while I poured out the raw ache from the barbecue fallout. Her eyes softened with understanding. "They undervalued you for too long. But here, you'll discover you're worth oceans more than they ever imagined." The next morning, Aunt Evelyn brewed strong Cuban coffee and laid out a plan over breakfast tacos. "Pain fuels the best stories," she advised, tapping her temple. "Channel it into something they can't ignore." She was a retired photographer who'd built a small online following sharing Miami hidden gems, and her wisdom became my lifeline. I crashed on her couch for weeks, job hunting during the day and brainstorming at night. She taught me to scout free editing apps on my cracked phone, turning grainy beach clips into mini masterpieces. Desperate for cash, I landed a gig waitressing at a bustling oceanfront cafe on Ocean Drive. The shifts were grueling. Endless trays of mojito and ceviche under the relentless sun, tourists barking orders in mixed accents. Tips came in crumpled bills barely covering rent contributions to Aunt Evelyn. But the chaos sparked ideas. I'd sneak breaks to film quick neon-lit Art Deco buildings or street performers juggling fire. "Authenticity sells," she encouraged, reviewing my rough cuts over late-night empanadas. "Show the grind, not just the glamour." One evening, after a double shift left my feet blistered and uniforms stained with salsa, I nearly fell for a scam. A shady manager online promised quick cash for editing gigs, asking for upfront fees. Aunt Evelyn caught me mid-transfer, snatching the phone. "Red flag, honey. Real opportunities don't demand payment first." She shared her own tales of early hustles, like photographing weddings for pennies before going viral with a hurricane survival series. Her stories fortified me, turning skepticism into strategy. Emboldened, I dove deeper into TikTok trends tailored to Miami vibes. Using the phone's basic tools, I edited a challenge video of locals dancing salsa on the sand, overlaid with glitch effects and upbeat reggaeton beats. Aunt Evelyn hyped it up, duetting from her account to boost visibility. Posted at golden hour, it exploded, likes pouring in, comments flooding with fire emojis. "This girl's edits are fire. Where is she from?" Strangers shared their own underdog stories, resonating with my caption. "Rising from the ashes, one clip at a time." Nights blurred into creation sessions in the living room, fairy lights twinkling as waves crashed below. Aunt Evelyn became my unofficial mentor, critiquing transitions and suggesting sound bites that punched emotionally. "Make them feel your fire," she'd say, passing herbal tea for my sore throat from narrating voiceovers. The phone, once a relic of neglect, transformed into a portal. Followers trickled in, then surged after a viral stitch responding to a luxury travel influencer. My raw take on budget beaches versus their sponsored yachts. Balancing plates at the cafe honed my multitasking, mirroring the split-screen edits I crafted. A rude customer once snapped, "Hurry up, girl!" echoing old dismissals, but I smiled through it, filming a subtle server life hacks reel later that racked up views. Aunt Evelyn celebrated each milestone with high fives and key lime pie. "See, you're building an empire on your terms." As savings grew from tips and micro-sponsorships, gratitude anchored me. Her spare room evolved into a creative nook, walls pinned with storyboards. She never pushed for details about the family I'd left, respecting the silence I needed. Instead, she filled voids with laughter and lessons, proving blood wasn't the only bond that healed. One dawn, as I uploaded another edit, syncing sunrise time-lapses with motivational drops, a notification chimed, my first brand inquiry. Aunt Evelyn peeked over my shoulder, grinning. "Told you the world's noticing." The path ahead shimmered with possibility. Evelyn's studio hummed with the steady crash of waves below. I posted consistently, refining thumbnails and hooks until one montage of Miami nightlife edits exploded to 2 million views overnight. Notifications flooded in, brands inquiring, followers tagging friends. The algorithm pushed harder. Arya slid into my DMs from Atlanta. Your cuts are fire. Runs social for our agency remote to start. She owned a mid-sized firm specializing in influencer campaigns. I negotiated equity instead of salary. Deal sealed with a video call. Packed light and sublet a loft in Midtown Atlanta. Exposed brick walls. Perfect for mood boards. First project, revamp a beauty brand's feed. I storyboarded. Sourced stock. Layered animations. Launch day. Engagement tripled. Arya looped me into bigger clients. Fashion drops. Tech launches. I branded myself. Sierra Edit Pro. Logo sleek in neon script. Built a site on weekends. Portfolio stacked with case studies. Revenue trickled, then surged. Freelance gigs at $500 each, stacked to thousands monthly. Agency cut covered overhead. Invested in software upgrades. A proper rig with dual monitors. Hired a virtual assistant for emails. Courses on scaling digital services paid off. I productized templates, sold packs on Gumroad. Hit 6 figures in year 1, reinvested into paid ads for the brand. Collaborations rolled in. Co-edits with rising creators, shoutouts that snowballed followers. Arya promoted me to creative director. Team meetings via Zoom, whiteboards digital. Pitched a subscription model for premium assets. Launched to a waiting list. 7-figure mark crossed on a quiet Tuesday. An invoice from a major beverage campaign cleared the milestone. Taxes set aside, the rest fueled expansion. Scouted properties online. Eyes on a Miami return. Found a penthouse and a Dubai-inspired tower on Miami Beach. Floor-to-ceiling glass. Infinity edges blending with the ocean horizon. Closed remotely. Keys mailed. Moved in with minimal furniture. Desk facing the view. Lights trailing. Unpacked the old Metro card from storage. Slipped it into a new leather wallet on the marble counter. Aunt Evelyn rang that evening. You did it, kid. Proud doesn't cover it. Her voice cracked just a bit. Expanded the team. Editors under contract. Project managers. Sierra Edit Pro became the go-to for viral strategies. Forbes scouts emailed for features. Declined interviews at first, focused on deliverables. Portfolio hit 1 billion impressions across platforms. Diversified into courses. Masterclasses selling out. The penthouse filled with tools of the trade. Ring lights. Drones of my own. Balcony sessions brainstormed next quarter's revenue streams. Automated affiliates. Licensing. Net worth climbed silently. Aunt Evelyn visited once, touring the space wide-eyed. From couch to this. Your rules now. We toasted with sparkling water, city lights twinkling below. The calls started pouring in. One blazing Miami morning, my phone buzzed on the kitchen island. Unknown number, I answered. Chase's voice cracked through. Sis, you're on the Forbes 300 list. He sounded winded, like he'd run upstairs. How? We thought you were scraping by. I leaned against the counter, staring at the ocean. Check the article yourself. He stammered about Dad seeing it at the office. Mom flipping out over breakfast. They want to talk. I ended the call. Texts flooded next. Dad, company's tanking, construction slowdown hit hard. Need advice. Then a voicemail, his tone pleading, Seer, we're family, help turn this around. I deleted it. Mom went old school, mailing a handwritten letter that arrived 2 days later. Fake envelope, her looping script. Chase is engaged. Wedding plans are big. Your success could cover the venue. The ring upgrade. Blood helps blood. She listed vendors. Costs tallied neatly. I pasted the penthouse letter, crumpling in my fist. Dialed Aunt Evelyn. She picked up on the second ring. Tears came unbidden. They're back because of the list. Wedding money, business bailout, like I owe them. She listened without interrupting. Cry it out, then decide. But set boundaries firm, or they'll redraw them for you. Her calm anchored me. You built this alone. Protect it. I wiped my face. Drafted replies to Chase. Congrats on the engagement. Handle your own. To Dad. Sorry about the company. Consult professionals. To Mom. No funds for the wedding. Plan within means. Sent. Blocked the threads temporarily to breathe. Chase tried video next. Face flushed. This is messed up. You're loaded now. Why freeze us out? I muted. Dad emailed from his work account, attaching spreadsheets of debts. Just a loan, interest-free. Ignored. Mom forwarded invitation mock-ups. Your name on the program would mean everything. Archived. Aunt Evelyn checked in daily. How's the wall holding? I updated her on the barrage. She shared her own cutoff stories, reinforcing the line. Conditional love isn't love. Her words stuck. I unblocked briefly to monitor. Saw escalating desperation. Chase posted vague family drama on social. Tags removed fast. Forbes confirmed the feature. Profile live. Metrics public. Inquiries spiked from investors, but family noise drowned focus. I scheduled a therapist session, Dr. Ford, via secure link. Unpacked the guilt in 50 minutes. Their crisis isn't your emergency. Prescription reinforced. No. Mom called the agency line somehow. Aria transferred. Think of your brother's future. I transferred back. Dad left a gate voicemail security flagged. Chase messaged through a mutual cousin. You're embarrassing us. Deleted contact. Aunt Evelyn flew down for a weekend. We walked the beach at sunset. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors you control. She hugged me tight. Proud of the steel you grew. Refreshed, I composed the final group text. No money, no surprise visits, no meetings. Respect this, or legal steps follow. Sent to all. Muted notifications. Silence settled for weeks. Then, a certified letter from Mom. Photos of Chase's fiancé. Plea for reconciliation. Dinner. Shredded. Dad's business partner reached out indirectly, fishing for investment. Declined politely. Chase's post turned bitter, then quiet. Aunt Evelyn's advice echoed in my indecisions. Team expanded without distraction. Revenue held steady. I donated anonymously to editing scholarships. No family ties. The gala loomed. The Forbes 30 Under 30 Gala in Austin pulsed under neon arches that shifted colors with the beat of the DJ. I stepped onto the red carpet in a midnight blue gown, flashes popping from photographers. Inside, tech moguls worked the room, nursing signature drinks, screens displaying honorary reels. Aunt Evelyn arrived separately, taking a seat near the back in a navy blazer, blending with supporters. I circulated, exchanging cards with venture capitalists. A notification pinged. Family tagged in event photos online. They'd made it in. Spotted them at a high-top table. Mom in pearl earrings. Dad scanning the room. Chase scrolling nervously. They waved me over. I approached slowly. Mom grabbed my wrist. Perfect timing. Chase's wedding needs funding. The planner quoted $50K for the reception alone. Dad leaned in. The firm's contracts dried up. Your network could open doors. Chase avoided eye contact. Yeah, sis. Hook us up. Aunt Evelyn watched from afar, her subtle nod reinforcing resolve. I pulled away gently. Enjoy the evening. Headed to the green room for final notes. The host announced the philanthropy spotlight. My slot. Ascended the stairs, lights dimming to a single beam. Grip on the mic steady. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I commit $100,000 to scholarships for emerging editors dismissed as unworthy. The auditorium erupted. A projector showed application details. I scanned the crowd. Mom froze mid-sip. Chase's face crumpled, tears spilling as he buried it in his hands. Dad shifted his chair, facing away completely, shoulders rigid. Returned to the floor amid congratulations. Organizers verified the pledge transfer. Aunt Evelyn met me at the edge. Bold and beautiful. We navigated to a quiet lounge, she added. Their silence speaks volumes. They pursued through the throng. Mom intercepted near the dessert station. That donation was our lifeline. Dad grumbled about family loyalty. Chase sniffled. Heartless. Event staff intervened, guiding them toward exits. Aunt Evelyn stood firm beside me. Choice made. Post-pledge interviews lined up. Reporters asked about origins, overcoming doubt. I replied, no specifics. Aunt Evelyn beamed during a quick photo. Legacy starts now. Exited via VIP lane, city skyline glittering. Debriefed in the limo, she reflected. You gave to those who need it most. Affirmation solidified. The gala concluded with fireworks over the river. Declined late-night invites. Boarded the jet home. Aunt Evelyn messaged arrival plans. Family attempts ceased that night. Months passed quietly. A year on, the Miami sea wind howled fiercely against the penthouse glass. I leaned on the railing, tablet in hand, reviewing quarterly reports. A push alert from a finance app. Dad's construction company declared bankruptcy. Aggressive expansion into luxury condos, backed by high-interest debt, crumbled when permits stalled and buyers vanished. In the downturn, equipment repossessed, office lease space vacated. Chase updated his profile quietly. Open to new challenges in hospitality. The upscale hotel chain he managed folded under corporate restructuring. Position eliminated. Severance minimal. His resume circulated forums. Endorsements outdated. Aunt Evelyn called every Tuesday evening, routine unbroken. Weather treating you kind? Conversations drifted to her pottery class, neighborhood gossip. She skirted direct questions about the others. Focus forward, she advised. Chats wrapped warmly, strengthening the bond. I maintained zero contact, ignored forwarded chain emails from distant relatives, hinting at struggles, blocked emerging burner numbers, digital footprint cleansed of overlaps. The scholarship fund matured. Dozens awarded, grantees building portfolios, some landing brand deals. Annual gala virtual testimonials streamed. Sierra Edit Pro acquired a rival tool. User base doubled. Daily flow optimized. Sunrise yoga on the deck. Strategy sessions with expanded remote staff. Afternoons dedicated to innovation labs, prototyping AI enhancements. Evenings reserved for mentorship calls with fund recipients. Public records detailed the fallout. Family homes sold at a loss. Proceeds split among liens. Parents relocated to a modest rental in the suburbs. Mom picked up retail shifts. Chase tempted at event venues. Paychecks erratic. Aunt Evelyn flew in monthly now. Rooftop brunches overlooking the marina. Consequences catch up, she observed, slicing fruit. Encouragement consistent. No bridge-building suggestions. I pondered during downtime. Empire metrics climbed. Valuations in 8 figures. Board seats offered. Personal accounts diversified. Philanthropy scaled. Inner calm prevailed. One twilight, seated inside with city lights flickering on. I voiced to the empty room. They lost me. I lost nothing. Severing ties is the ultimate self-love. Horizons expanded endlessly.